What is going on? YouTube? YouTube. What is going on? This video, so my alliance is gonna start doing training sessions because here's the thing. Well, I don't want to say too much. You never know who's gonna watch these videos in the future, but all I will say is that it's important for us to be prepared for war, whether that be KVK or otherwise. So with that being said, right, you know, go being knowing how to field the rallies, join the rallies, control the field, focus out particular targets is super important. So this is more about the combat movement, and it's going to be more about um, the combat movement and also the concept of like focusing down the target. So and how not to get focused. I'm gonna write all this stuff down so I don't forget. So we doing how not to get focused, which is probably the most important part. Uh, Focusing an enemy, and then movement. Okay, I can't forget because I wrote it all down. GG. Okay, so let's go over how not to get focused. So when you do a commander pair, when you go outside the city, you see their icon, right? Like this dude over here, like he has Ethel flag, right? You're gonna make you have biases about certain characters that you probably don't even realize. For example, you see somebody with Richard or Martell, or especially if you see a JC, Mehmed, Freddie, you think that they're one of the better players. You also think like, okay, what has he got behind it, right? Especially, the Martell. Oh my God, you see a Martell, you usually don't fight him, right? By the same token, you see like a Boudica on the field, a Sun Tzu, a Jonah Arc, right? You CPO. So like you see CPO, you think tank, right? When you think of Kusunoki, you think archers, Ujimandan infantry. You see Sun Tzu, you think tank AOE, right? Boudica, you're like, yeah, let's go for her because she doesn't seem that strong, right? That's the type of thing that you do. Like, oh my God, F flat is debuffing everybody. Fuck her up first, right? That's what you think. So, in the concept of like not getting focused, the best thing you can do, especially if you're running support commanders, which I recommend running support commanders like the Ethelflad, the Jones, and ultimately the Mulan at some point too, especially with that March speed and Arco Osiris, right? That you need to hide them behind somebody, preferably. So you can hide them behind Sun Tzu, bring full infantry. You can hide Ethelflad, Joan, or Mulan behind Sun Tzu, and you're less likely to be targeted because Sun Tzu is tanky and he does a fair bit of damage. So you usually don't get focused first if you have Sun Tzu, but he ain't too far up on the list, right? He's not Richard tanky. If you had somebody behind Richard, for example, you're way less likely to get targeted. Right? Who wants to fight somebody that's going to heal it back, reduce their damage, right? Take less damage, deal more counter attack. Like, you don't want to fight against that. It's a tank. You don't want to fight that first. You want to get the damage out of the way first, right? Martell, you for damn sure don't want to fight this dude, right? Good, best infantry stats, right? Counter attack damage. You don't fight into that. So usually what you do is like, let's say I could do, Charles Martel, Ethelflad. So like, and it's not even a bad pairing, right? So like, I'm bringing, Ethelflad to the field. She's hidden behind because only the primary commander gets shown up, and then you see like a flash of the secondary. But in a big brawl, right in the field, they're not really. There's too much going on to be focused in like that. You have to really be looking, and the better players will be looking, right, to see where the E song is actually at. Where is the Ethelflad at? where's the Joan at? Because you know it's on the field. You just sometimes don't know who has it, right? But you'll see the cues. You just don't know, okay, where is it? And they're looking for it. I promise you the better members are. So that's all the things that you can do is try to hide these buffers behind somebody. That'll, because they go for the squishier people first. Like for example, like the Minamoto South. I wouldn't really want to bring that to the open field. Not really, because if it's a big brawl, for one, I'm not doing AOE damage, and then two, I'm squishy as hell. Like there is no defense anywhere in here, and if you expertise him, you lose defense. Like there's no defense, right? So this is the first thing I'm going for. If you see that minus out, they're doing a lot of damage, and they're doing a significant debuff, take that off the field, right? And that's why I just like run the Sun Tzu. Like, I'm less likely to be targeted, and then I can have my buffer behind. I think that's more impactful. You know, you do need people out there doing damage, but for the majority of people, that's not your really role. You're better off buffing or debuffing.
Queen by title, but indeed.
Again, like, man, hiding it behind the Richard right now is 100% the plan. Okay, so that's how you don't get focused. That's the main thing. Another thing is not getting out of position, and I can't really illustrate that in this video, but you want to stay like behind the people who can bear the brunt of the damage. So if you see your whale or whatever in the front, okay, fight with him, and like wherever he goes, you go, right, or something like that. So you're not like isolating yourself from everyone else or pushing too far ahead where, you know, again, if you're free to play, you're going to have less march speed than most people, right? You're not going to be able to get away as quick, right? So that's how you don't get focused. So then, like, you're hiding kind of behind your whale, you're hiding your buffers so they don't kind of know what the fuck's going on if they're not paying attention. That's like the best way to do it. Okay. Concept number 2, which is focusing on the enemy. And I can actually illustrate what that looks like and show you what I do. I can illustrate that in the expeditions. Let's see. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, this looks good. Okay. So in this game mode, you know, it kind of really don't matter how you do it, right? It's not like you get focused, right? In the grand scheme of things, like this is like how I did. This is my tank march, right? This is my damage dealer, and then Ether Flat is my buffer and debuffer. Now, if this was like me bringing some shit to the field, I would probably do Richard primary with like Jonah Arc, Sun Tzu with Ether Flat, and I would leave minus Sal as is, right? Because that would hide my Ether Flat behind Richard, and then that would hide my Ether Flat behind Sun Tzu, and then like I could do the Richard with Joan that would hide my Joan, right? I think that's better, so you don't get focused. But to each his own. Like this is fine for this. The point I'm getting at right now is that I want to show you how I focus the enemy. So at least in this context, I want to focus. Want this guy taking the brunt of the damage. Okay, I'll move him up, right, and then I'll select, and then I'm looking for who I want to focus. So first, I'm just gonna move these guys up. I would move them better in sync. So I'm looking like, okay, JC, they got a Richard. Okay, I'm looking who has what. Okay, that's the Sun Tzu. You saw it. Hannibal Barker. So I want to focus the Hannibal Barker. I'm just going to select all like this. I want to get Hannibal Barker out of there because he's doing debuffs, right? Now that's a tankier march, but that debuff is too big for you not to take it out, right? So I'm looking. I think I saw a Sun Tzu right there. That's AoE. That's an Uji Mundak on that Martel Sun Tzu. I want to go for the AoE damage. I want to get the AoE damage out of there, even though Uji Mundak has a debuff. I'm going to get the AoE damage off. Right? I don't know who Richard has as a secondary. Can't really see. Sun Tzu, okay. And what does the other one have? Who's you undock? Okay. So I'm going. So right before that guy dies, I'm gonna focus this guy. Boom. I'm on his ass. Right. So that's how I would do it in the field. And then usually you don't fight to the death in the field. You want to watch where your marcher's health is actually at. Once you get down to half, it's probably best to start, doing a little retreat, right? Once you get down to half. That's usually how you want to do it. So now I'm on this Richard. And that's the one with the Sun Tzu. Now you just click on their icon, right? That's what I do. Like when you try to click, if you try to click the march, you probably do the wrong one. But if you click the icon, it's a lot easier to manage. Right, so I'm letting my tank march bear the brunt of it. But in the open field, you kind of want all your marches to be even, so that way none of your marches get focused more than the next one. That's kind of the idea. And I think it's better to have all of your marches attacking one person so you can melt that one person faster rather than, okay, you attack this one, and that one. Right, split it up. I like all of my marches to be attacking one guy. I think that's the best thing you can do. Is you melt that person quick. Alright, that's how you focus enemies, people. That's how you focus enemies. Alrighty. So now the last part is movement. And when you're moving around the field, the best thing that's going to help you with movement is actually doing the right talent. So, right now, infantry are the slowest unit. They counter cavalry, so that's like really good, right? So, what I would recommend, let's go to talents here. What I would recommend, this is a city defense build, but if I had to recommend a field build, probably look something close to this. Let's reset this so I can show you where I would go first. First and foremost, you get rejuvenate. It regenerating that rage to pop the skills off is the best. Everybody should be able to run a Sun Tzu primary. Everybody should be getting them. And then, like, if you really want to counter the infantry really hard, the cavalry really hard, this gives you 9% just straight up damage. Not just 9% attack, like 9% straight up damage. You do more normal attack, skill damage, and counter attack damage. So I would still get this first, because this helps you regenerate your rage, Undying Fury. Then you make your way over to Iron Spear. This is an infantry open field build. And then there's like all this march speed right here, which you desperately really want as an infantry player. Like even though these talents don't lead nowhere, like you want that march speed, right? And that's all the march speed that this tree really offers. This can slow down your opponents, but I don't think it's that backbreaking. I think this is the better talent, but you have to have all infantry for it. Maybe you do care about slowing down the enemies, and then eventually, right, you're gonna, if you get an elite soldiers, you would get that anyway, right? So just starting here is a good starting point, right? Just having a march speed and then the rejuvenating, you being able to counter the calves on the field, right? You got the rage regen here. Then I would probably work my way up this side of the tree, right, to try to get hold the line. I think hold the line is really good. So now from here you have options, right? If you like want it, right? If you want it to go all the way into the tree, like that's fine. Just go up this way and get the elite soldiers. Remember, you're gonna need full infantry. Stronger body gives a lot of health, and like 6% health. And health is the best stat that you would want on, right? Your commander is really, really good. This is all about infantry, but I don't know. I recommend infantry especially for the free to play, just because everybody's running around with the calves, right? And you can get richer, you can get the Sun Tzu, right? Certain degree, if you can spend a little bit of money and get some gold keys, you can get lucky, get a Martell halfway decent, just 5-1-1-1. I really recommend something like this for the open field, and that doesn't take way too many talent points to do. I'm level 49 on this commander. It's doable. It takes a little second, but it's doable. And you got good, not I wouldn't say good march speed, but good march speed by infantry standards, right? And you got the rejuvenate. That's a pretty good infantry build. This is solid. If you didn't want to hold the line right away, you could go for stronger body. It's fine. Okay, that's what I would do, and that's the first part of the movement piece, right? And then just to show you the other trees, usually the march speed is in this top tree is on the right side, so you get march speed here, march speed, right? I think in the cavalry tree there might be some more march speed over here, right? Lots of march speed. In the archer tree, it's the same thing, right? It's on the that right side, right? So you march speed there. Is there any march speed on this side? I don't think there's any march speed. I think it's just like a lot of health. Yep. So march speed is usually on this right side. Other noteworthy places that you can get march speed, you can get quite a bit of march speed, obviously from the mobility tree. Let's show you what a march speed is at. March speed is super important in the open field. Don't think just because, oh, wait, I'm not getting more stats that it's not valuable. Right off the rip, march speed there. You get march speed here. There's a whole talent dedicated to more march speed. And then this will give you a whole bunch of march speed when you leave a structure. And I'll tell you how you utilize that in a second. Okay, so that's where you get the march speed from. The last one, I would say that has heavily decent march speed is the support tree. You get march speed right off the rip. You get some march speed here. And I think that's all the march speed that you get. Yep, you get march speed here and then here. You're going to have that 9% total. That's easy. Again, even on leadership, it's on the right side of the tree, 12%. All right, so now that's the first part to the movement pieces, just having a march speed. So now, right, well, I can't dispatch. Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to. Which one's closest? Ooh, I done butchered the video. Maybe I can show you just with. Okay. I'll just do it with the siege units. So right, a lot of times you can dip into the structures like this, and then you can press and hold, and then you move. Right, this is a really good strategy because it keeps you protected, especially when the cities are close like this together. You can move from city to city, and it keeps your troops more protected. That's how I would move. And then there's that hasty departure talent will give you some 60% movement speed bonus. So it's a really good way to move. And I don't want to talk too much about it. Sometimes you got to figure out what works for you, but that's what works for me the most. Is you can really leverage the nodes, right? Because even if you didn't get the hasty departure bonus, look, I'm on this side, and normally, let's say I just wanted to go on the other side right here, I have to most of the time go around. I don't know if they make you go around the flag. You can go straight through the flag. Let's say, okay, I go straight through that too. Let's say it was a person's city. I have to go around the city, and that'll take longer, but I can just go straight through the city and then come out the other side. Now you have to be actively watching, but it's totally fine. Right, that's way faster because I'm not wasting time going around. So moving like that will help give you kind of more speed on the battlefield. It's especially relevant if you're getting chased down and you need to put a little distance in between you and the other person, doing that is a good way to do it. They call it node hopping is what it's actually called. Hopefully this how not to get focused in combat movement helped, right? This is the first piece to the 100-piece puzzle, right, on how to be effective on a battlefield. See you in the next video.